So after the whole affair with Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, with ending with Randy Orton committing arson on Bray Wyatt's compound, Orton had there was a conundrum going on. Orton had pretty much put himself back into the main event picture of WrestleMania, and now it was back and forth like, oh, is Randy Orton going to get involved? Is it going to be a triple threat match? Is Luke Harper going to get involved somehow? Make it a fatal four-way match? And then it was announced that Randy Orton would take on AJ Styles to determine a true number one contender for the championship at WrestleMania against Bray Wyatt. Now, that was disappointing. Like, I was hoping, like, okay, are they going to announce is Luke Harper going to get involved? Like, Eric Rowan's been cleared to compete again, so is he going to get involved later down the road? Like, it could be an interesting fatal four-way matchup, which should be the end game for the Wyatt family. Like, it's been building up since this new incarnation, and it should end in a fatal four-way kind of match. Well, mostly triple threat match, but since Eric Rowan's coming back, I'm pretty sure they would insert him in there if they were really going with that plan. But no, instead we're getting Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt, which I'm not complaining about. Like, I expect it to be a much better match than their encounter at No Mercy, especially since it's WrestleMania season and all that. And originally, AJ Styles and Randy Orton was considered for one of the matches at WrestleMania this year, late last year, around December. But that got changed, obviously. Now it's going to be AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon and Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. With Luke Harper probably getting in there somehow, we don't know. And sadly, while I do find the part of AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon to be a what question, I am expecting a good match. Like, AJ Styles has the talent to do so. He has the talent to make any match look good. And everyone had been clamoring for Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. So when it was finally announced that we would finally get that in the main event of SmackDown, it was like, wow, you're giving away a potentially main event worthy WrestleMania match for free? That's about as logic than Goldberg versus Hulk Hogan. Sorry, Hollywood Hogan in WCW. Now, now there at least this conundrum that happened on Tuesday night. Like, we knew what was gonna happen. Like, and not in terms of, well, it's predictable, well, is it the good kind? It's more like they already told us a week prior. So they repeat this again with this long dragging promo of Orton, AJ Styles, and Bray Wyatt conundrum by Shane and Bryan, and to point out that yes, they have their disagreements, but they eventually come to a compromise. And that's the only thing I could praise about that segment. It's because while Bryan and Shane O'Mac, have these disagreements, they come to a compromise. Whereas on Raw, it's Stephanie McMahon's show, and Mick Foley's just bullied, along with the rest of the women's division, because Stephanie McMahon wishes to exert her authority. So AJ Styles versus Randy Orton, and AJ Styles is pissed off because he was guaranteed a contendership against Bray Wyatt's title, which I would not have complained about. I would have loved to see Bray Wyatt versus AJ Styles in the main event of WrestleMania. Rumor has it that it will still be Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar in the main event in a quick match, I must add. So why? And during this whole matchup, I was worried that Randy Orton had injured his leg because AJ Styles put so much effort in trying to immobilize Orton. I could have sworn he had accidentally hit it. He actually injured him, and I was worried about that. And I know it wasn't intentional. This was all pre-planned, but it looked so real and convincing that I thought for sure, yeah, he's hurt. Though the reason why I say almost is because, well, they would have stopped the match. This isn't the old days when Mick Foley could still wrestle, even though it's clearly obvious that he's probably concussed in the matchup against the Undertaker at Hell in a Cell and the King of the Ring pay-per-view. We all know how that match happened. Like, that match will forever be legendary, but half of the match wasn't even planned for that. Like, they just went at it impromptu. So yeah, Randy Orton and AJ Styles, they made it one hell of a match. Like Raw was better that week, but But really, the main event was really AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. They stole the match of the week for WWE in the SmackDown versus Raw War. And the one thing I loved the most about that match is when AJ Styles was going for the phenomenal forearm, but just when he was about to, Randy Orton sprung up for an RKO, and AJ Styles just stopped right in the middle of it and causing Orton to fall comedically onto the floor. And I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, that is genius. Genius strategy from AJ Styles. But eventually, Orton eventually got him in the RKO once more and got the 1-2-3. Now, plans are in place for Orton versus Wyatt. And plans are obviously in place for Styles versus Shane. Now, it was after SmackDown Live that it was shown that AJ Styles had confronted Shane McMahon backstage, all angry, pissed off, even though the logic makes no sense because Shane McMahon vouched for Styles, though of course they could fix it with Styles saying that he's out to get him and whatnot and become paranoid delusions. So the motivation of the character needs to be addressed. And I'm curious as to know, wait, are they really going with the conspiracy angle? Like, is Styles going to hold up a sign saying, I'm a conspiracy victim? Like a certain blonde-haired Ayatollah Rock and Rolla kind of guy from the 1990s? 1998 to be more exact? Anyone remember that storyline they went with? Oh man, that was a classic. So, yeah, it seems like they're doing that, but more seriously. I would like to see Styles act called conspiracy victim based, but at the same time, I know I wouldn't really picture him doing something so comedic, even though he has done so comedic things on occasion last year during his feud with John Cena, especially with the whole poster complaint. Like I said, I wasn't angry about the poster. I said, okay, I get the whole angry. I get how a poster can. I don't get how a poster can rile people up to get mad and complain on the internet. But at the same time, I get that, yeah, Styles is the champion. He should be up there on the front, along with Kevin Owens. But no, we gotta favor these part timers. They're bigger than these guys. Which means that in hindsight, that means less promotion for that wrestler, and therefore they can't be as big as those other guys. Like, I get it's impossible to be the next Goldberg, the next Brock Lesnar, the next Kevin Owens. I mean, not the next Kevin Owens. I mean, the next Undertaker and the next John Cena. That's a given. That's impossible. But WWE doesn't even give the wrestlers a chance to get in the forefront and get the publicity they need to get over with wrestling fans. Or else then everyone's just stuck in this stagnant position and the part-timers are the dominant force. And yeah, a lot of people are becoming frustrated with that, how part-timers are basically taking everyone's jobs. Like, it's already been reported that the main event of WrestleMania, instead of being Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, because SmackDown clearly deserves it, and therefore Vince McMahon hates that, since SmackDown is taking leaps of faith and risks, unlike Raw. That's Vince McMahon's bubble. That's his safe space. And Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar is the main event, according to reports. I'm hoping that's wrong. Like Kevin Owens said it best, it's a good undercard match. It can be up to the top tier, but it doesn't need to be the main event, the match that goes on last, or else that would be really unfair. And fans complained like, oh, Styles deserves to be in the main event. Okay, I get Styles deserves to be in the main event. I get that, to be the match that goes on last, but at the same time, either way, it was going to go to Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. I'm 100% certain it was going to go to Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. I could be wrong, so I'm just going to go with 99%. But, yeah. It was, I know for a fact that even though Goldberg and Lesnar had one match and suddenly, oh, we gotta make this the main event. Even though it was quick, decisive, and finished, it really feels like we need to do this. So I'm curious as to know what's going to happen on SmackDown and how it goes for these two storylines. I'm curious as to know how they're going to go about it. Like, are they going to go conspiracy victim route? Are they going first Shane McMahon and Styles? Or is it just going to be like, is going to reverse the anti-authority figure, where the heel is the anti-authority figure and the authority figure is the good guy, which is a reverse psyche on an old storyline we saw in the past. Yeah, but like I get that they've kind of done this before, though, albeit it never led to a wrestling match when Stone Cold was co-GM of Raw, because Stone Cold was injured and therefore couldn't wrestle anymore. Therefore Austin exerting his authority over the heels and beating them up, they could not retaliate as much because it can't lead to a match because Austin's retired. And also the shocking thing about this match, the end of the match was, well, Bray Wyatt didn't appear at all. He didn't show up at the end of the episode. I was expecting Bray Wyatt to come in, beat the living hell out of Orton, and then just scream and shout the same "Follow the Buzzards" or just walk out, holding the title over in his hand, dragging it on the floor. So yeah, like I was expecting that, but no, Bray Wyatt doesn't show up. Like they don't talk about him, like saying where's Bray Wyatt. Like, they talk about him, but they don't say where is he. They just seemingly forgot he was, oh yeah, he's on SmackDown. Like, okay? Like, I get that in the storyline this makes sense because Bray Wyatt is damaged now. He's been psychologically damaged, well, more psychologically damaged than usual. And now he's coming back for revenge soon. So I'm expecting him to eventually come on SmackDown, snap, and go crazy and beat the holy hell out of Orton in a vicious beatdown as much as they can in 5 minutes, because Raw has this unlimited time thing, whereas SmackDown just ends specifically at 10. So it's curious as to know where this is going to go. I can't wait what's going to happen at WrestleMania for SmackDown side of things. Still worried about Raw, but let's hope in the coming weeks that Raw can bounce back with storylines, but I'm not getting my hopes up on that. Well, everyone, this was Neo Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate. Stay tuned for more.